Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the very first ever. Ooh, that's a little loud. Is that loud? Holy crap. It's really loud. So first ever tarot and true crime that I'm doing with an audience present. Now, I've only done one other tarot and true crime on the Summer Wells case, and I have that video on here somewhere. So I do have that, and it was interesting, and I uploaded it. It was a pre-recorded video. So this is going to be super fun. Hey, Blue Orange Mafia. Hey, Tonic. Hey, Kelly, Mama Bear, Stephanie, Hoji Beck. All my favorite peeps, as always, are here. So I'm going to be using several decks for this reading, right? Because I kind of really want an in-depth reading of this case. And JonBenet Ramsey won the poll. So that is the case we are doing today. Hi, Miss Donna. So we're going to kind of like do like a little recap. So I found an article. Hi, Nana Sue. So I found an article on the Time website that I will be reading. So we can just kind of have a quick recap real quick of the case. Let's see. Let me share my screen. Okay. You have to go back and watch the video. Yeah. And what's funny, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, okay? So since my name has already been doxxed out there by somebody, I'm just gonna tell you guys what my first name actually is. Do you see how JonBenet's name right here is JonBenet Patricia Ramsey? Well, my first name is Patricia. So I really feel it in my name because her mom's name was also Patricia, remember? So you got Patricia Ramsey, the mom, and then you got JonBenet Patricia Ramsey. So I definitely feel kind of connected to this case. Hi, Mombi. Hi, Erin. How are you? Mom, welcome to the stream. Okay, so we're going to get into a little recap. I'm going to read this real quick for you guys. So on December 26, 1996, 6-year-old child beauty pageant contestant JonBenet Ramsey was found dead in the basement of the family's Boulder, Colorado home, along with a ransom note asking for $118,000. Autopsy results released in August 1997 revealed that JonBenet had suffered asphyxiation due to strangulation. A week after JonBenet's death, her parents' socialite, Patricia Ramsey, the 1977 Miss West Virginia, and businessman John Ramsey made their first appearance on national TV on CNN, pleading for the public's help in finding their child, which can be found. There's a killer on the loose. There's a link. Still, 25 years later, no charges have been filed. In October 1999, a grand jury investigation concluded without issuing any indictments, but did accuse John and Patsy Ramsey of unlawfully knowing, recklessly, and feloniously permitting a child to be unreasonably placed in a situation which posed a threat of injury to the child's life or health. See, I didn't even know that. That's how the lack of following I've kept up with this case, right? I didn't even know that. But in 2008, then Boulder County District Attorney Mary Lacey exonerated the Ramseys after DNA testing of JonBenet's pajamas matched that of an unknown man. We do not consider your immediate family, including you, your wife Patsy, and your son Burke, to be under any suspicion in the commission of this crime, as she wrote in a letter to John Ramsey, which there's a link there right here. Though the case remains open at the Boulder Police Department, JonBenet's murder is one of the most famous unsolved true crime mysteries in American history. And there's the picture. I remember this. I remember watching this on TV when I remember this exact moment. $100,000 reward with information. I remember that. 1997. I was just turned 18 in 1997. So Paula Woodward, who covered the Ramsey case as a journalist in Boulder and is the author of Unsolved: The JonBenet Ramsey Murder 25 Years Later, says the media landscape and 24/7 cable TV in particular help fueled the appetite for sensationalized coverage, which is a thing today, right? Mainstream media plays a huge part in everything, as well as now we have social media platforms, right? So, public fascination with the surreal multi-million dollar world of children's beauty pageants, in particular, was a side effect of intense scrutiny of the case as Time put it in the January 20th, 1997 issue. She was in these child beauty pageants that very few people knew anything about, and because the autopsy was not released for 8 months, no one understood the viciousness of how she died. And as a result, the fill time was spent discussing pageants, says Woodward. Part of what draws people to news stories are the visual elements, and I think the cachet of photographs of JonBenet added to the visual appeal of the story, which is true because we like visualization, right? So adds Daniel Slackoff, assistant professor to criminal justice at Sacramento State, California. For example, the photo of JonBenet with ringlets in her hair and a crown of baby's breath flowers continues to be used when discussing her case, even 25 years on. When people see that photograph, they know it's JonBenet, right? It's a very famous picture, right, from visualization. So we know it's JonBenet. Okay, and that's it. And that's going into another case. Hi, everybody. So, what is everybody's thoughts on this? I want to hear your thoughts first before we get into this, because I'm also going to be referring to you guys as I draw cards when we discuss this. So, what is your take? So, what is your take on this? Is it me? You know what, Aaron? I was literally, as I was reading that of them being from Boulder, Colorado, I was literally just thinking the same thing. I was just thinking the same thing. So, there have been so much speculation, right? Is it a stranger? Or do you still think it's somebody in the family? Because I still am unsure. I still am very unsure. And the fact that it's still an open case to this day says a lot. Either I think it's a lack of evidence, or okay, lack of evidence, or like the person who did it is just out there. It's a very confusing case. Absolutely. Yep, I definitely think it's somebody close to the family. The parents were ruled out with DNA, right? So don't think it's a stranger, someone close to them. I personally think it was someone close to them as well. Exactly. I think wasn't there a point where they thought it was the brother and the brother got exonerated, right, from DNA? You think it definitely someone they know, and think someone they know, as there are a lot of things that shows exactly previous knowledge. Agreed. Agreed. I think someone who is close to the family as well. The letter was one. The letter I didn't get. I'm like ransom letter. I'm like I honestly think the ransom letter was just a setup. I think it was just put there just because. I think the ransom letter was put there to like throw people off. I think family member. The brother. Yeah, because I also heard it was the brother too. I think there's a chance that the parents or one of the parents know which did it. Maybe something to do. Yep, exactly. I mean, think about it, right? Because I mean, even now when you think about it, we are surrounded by sex offenders, right? If you go look at your sex offenders list in your area, you can see how many convicted sex offenders there are, and it's crazy. And it's just crazy. Yeah, the brother, yeah, they were exonerated. Yeah. Exactly. I watched that interview and it definitely was creepy. It definitely was creepy. I think with everything that happened, did a lot on his mental state, honestly. Yeah, he was, yeah. One of the family members could have been involved. They just didn't actually. True. That is also true, Yakety Yak. That is also true. But he did have other children. Not sure if they were checked. Yeah, that's also another thing, Empress. Yeah, I've never liked the pageant life. It is a weird, to me, it sexualizes children too much for the pedophiles. To me, yeah, I can't get behind pageants because it sexualizes children. I can't do it. He had strange behaviors as a child and even as an adult. Yep. Yeah, they were exonerated. True. Socially awkward is the better word. Yeah, exactly. Hey, how are you? We are good. Okay, so I have several decks I'm going to be working with. So I'm going to be working with my Fairy Oracle deck. I'm going to be working with my Ludi Lescott Tarot deck, which is a more on the darker side. I've got the Dark Mirror Oracle deck that I'm going to be working with as well. And then I have the True Crime Oracle deck that we are going to test out and see how this goes. Okay, so I got 4 decks I'll be using. They do. They do. It sexualizes them, right? It makes them look older than what they are. And then they're in skimpy outfits sometimes. Yeah, I can't get behind that. Absolutely cannot get behind that. Yep, I still have you. Yeah, I still have you on my list. Okay, so gotta figure out how I'm gonna start with this first. Okay, so let me shuffle these first. You're welcome, Green Eyes. Yep, I added you to my other list. Whenever we do some more readings, you are at the top of the list, Green Eyes. Too much focus on the way you look. Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Now, I am working with darker decks, so I will be cleansing because these are darker decks that I am working with, especially the Dark Mirror and my Ludi Lescott. This is my very first tarot deck, by the way. That is my very first tarot deck. You had an agent approach my daughter when she was about 2, wanted her to... That's weird. That's weird, right, Tonic? That's weird. I'm just lighting up some Palo Santo real quick so I can cleanse before we get started. There we go. I'll let this burn for a minute. Cleansing the energy. Know whatever feels the need to come and join for the session. You are not allowed to touch me. You are not allowed to attach to anybody that is in the stream, watching the stream, or myself. You are not allowed to attach to anybody. Any negative, you are rebuked. Okay. I will start with the tarot first. Because using tarot, right, is just like opening any other portal, right? So it will be the same as using a spirit box, and it's the same as using a Ouija board. So always take precautions and protect yourself, okay? Which is what I just said protection spell for us. This tarot is opening portals. Okay, so this is on the JonBenet Ramsey case. Let's see what we can get from it. You've never seen true crime cards? Yeah, I know. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. Oh, okay. That's too many. I need spirits to clarify for me, please. Same. Thank you, Copper Horse. Thank you. Now let me know if we start getting in too deep and somebody starts feeling a little certain way, okay? Let me know, because I don't want anything negative happening, okay? I'm not saying it will, just saying just let me know. Anybody starts feeling a certain type of way. All right, we've got the 5 of Pentacles, which is despair, poverty, knowing what it's like to be left in the cold. And these cards, what I like about these cards is you can get the sense of what the meaning is behind the card just by the imagery alone, right? So we have the Hangman reversed. Yes, the Hangman reversed. A decision was made. They were at a crossroads. A decision was made here. A decision was definitely made there. And this is Temperance. Someone lost their patience. Someone lost their patience. They were at a crossroads. A decision had to have been made. A decision had to have been made. A burden was lifted. A burden had been lifted after this happened. There was a burden lifted after this happened. They're carrying too much. They're carrying too much here. They're carrying so much. Disagreements, arguments. It seems like we're talking about the household. This is talking about the household. There was too much of a burden. There was always disagreements, arguments. I got 5 of Swords first. And we all know swords is conflict, right? There was unhappiness and regret. There was unhappiness and regret. There was regret after everything was said and done. There was a lot of regret. Okay? Whatever was happening that they were going through in the household. Well, I'm not getting anything about finances yet. The only finance card is this one. So my guess is I'm not sure about. Do you guys know anything about the parents' background money-wise? Did they come from mediocre or poverty and then end up making, their way up to the top into a high class? Because this is the only thing about money so far. There was a lot of weight, a lot of burden, a lot of disagreements. Decisions had to have been made. Somebody lost their patience. They have patience, but it was lost somewhere. There's definitely regret. There is definitely regret there. Understanding the parents were financially good. Well, no, I mean, like, I know at the time they were, but like growing up is I know how their finance, like how they grew up, if they were if they were in poverty growing up. Okay, the Six of Swords is letting go of the past, they're letting things go to move on. This is saying goodbye to something in the past, saying, you know what, I'm moving on to something new. Moving on to something new. I haven't gotten anything else about finances yet, so finances isn't the problem. There's a lot of conflict, though. There's a lot of conflict. Then you have the Nine of Swords reversed. Signifies the end of a crisis. Stop feeling sorry for themselves. They were moving. This is a moving on card. So I'm going to put these to the side because this is saying goodbye to the past and moving on to something new. And then this is the moving on card. So something happened in between them all wanting to move on and regret. Yep, I do remember that Patsy died. Yep, that I remember. Patsy did pass away. That I do remember. There's something in between here and then just moving on that happened. There's definitely something in between there. Five. Okay, so they weren't happy with what they had. They were so focused on one thing, they couldn't pay attention to what was around them. So they were all focused on JonBenet's pageants. They weren't happy with everything else that they had. They were only focused on one thing. They couldn't look at everything else around them. They were blinded by they were so engrossed in these pageants. They were so engrossed in these pageants. So, I mean, it could be somebody from the pageant, right? It could be somebody from the pageant circuit. Six of Wands. You feel your chest getting tighter? Okay. There was a lot of satisfaction to be had from JonBenet winning pageants. They earned a lot of gratification and notification just from JonBenet Ramsey. They gained a lot of notoriety from her, and that's what made them happy. Yeah, they gained a lot of notoriety from her, and that's what made the family happy. They liked being known that they were JonBenet's parents, and she was known as the beauty queen. They absolutely loved that because that was their main focus. Their main focus was her and the beauty pageants. They didn't care about everything else around them. That's what made them happy, was having her in those beauty pageants. Having her in them beauty pageants wasn't about JonBenet. It was about Patricia because Patricia, her mom, was a former Miss America, right? Well, not a Miss America, but she was a former pageant beauty, right? So this was more or less, yes, I feel it. I feel it. So this was more or less Patsy living vigorously through JonBenet. That's what this is right here. That's what this is. She's living vigorously through JonBenet. Yep, exactly. Exactly. I definitely, somebody's here. Somebody is definitely here. You are right, Copper Horse. She was living vicariously through JonBenet. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely she was. Okay, so the nine of Pentacles. Now we're getting into some money, right? Because 9 of Pentacles. Exactly. Yep. Same. All right, 9 of Pentacles is money. Well, anything Pentacles is materialistic, right? So 9 of Pentacles reversed is, do you guys know if Patsy depended on, was the husband the main breadwinner for the family? Was the husband the main breadwinner? Because she relied on somebody. She was very reliant on somebody for money. So let me know, was her husband the breadwinner? Did he take care of all the finances? Okay. Because this card is being financially dependent on somebody. She was financially dependent. Sorry about that. I know it kind of sucks. There's a glare too. But I appreciate you putting me on your TV. Okay, yeah. This is the financial dependency. She was financially dependent on him. So she wouldn't have anything. She wouldn't have any of this without his financial gain. Exactly. She couldn't have any of that without him. And then we have the King of Cups reversed. That is huge, right? That is huge. King of Cups reversed is, there was a lot of insecurity. There was a lot of emotional, they weren't, a lot of manipulation. There was a lot of manipulation on his part. He was a very manipulative person. He was the master of manipulation. He was the master of manipulation. So she was dependent on him and he was the manipulator. Yeah, they definitely had a lot going on. And then I also got the Emperor, which is, the Emperor is very controlling. He is very respectable. He represents very successful. So this is definitely about him. Definitely about him. He's knowledgeable. He's experienced. Definitely about him. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. This is King of Pentacles. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. This is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. I'm so sorry. I looked at it wrong because the Emperor card kind of looks the same. So the King of Pentacles he signifies practical matter, finances, property, work, and security. So he was the signification of wealth and substance. And wasn't he also known through the community? A pillar of the community, I should say. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you popping in. See, that's what I'm not sure of. I'm not sure if it was just Patsy. I know that I know they had made her very own like changing trailer, right? Or something like that. Okay, so yep, he's the pillar of the community. He controlled everything. He was a manipulator. In the relationship, he was the manipulator. Okay. Once again, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Okay. And then what also came out was, this is the Empress in reverse. She signifies that her needs were neglected. He was neglecting her. Which is why, right? If he was neglecting her, that's why she's living vicariously through JonBenet. That makes perfect sense, right? He's neglecting her. So she's living vicariously through JonBenet because JonBenet's getting the attention. JonBenet's winning pageants, right? So she put everything into JonBenet. She put everything. She wasn't getting the attention she needed. She was being neglected. She was being neglected in the relationship. Which is why, if you guys think about it, remember after JonBenet was killed, do you guys remember how he was so it seemed like he was so loving, showed so much love towards Patsy in every single interview they did. And then when she got sick, it was even more shown from him. And I think that's where the regret comes from. There was a lot of regret and remorse from everything. And then there is the Queen of Cups. So he had the King of Cups and she is the Queen of Cups. That is amazing. Hey, Ginger, how are you? It's okay to fall asleep. So the Queen of Cups, right? The Queen of Cups represents deep emotion and compassion. She's very nurturing, and she's ruled by her heart when it came to JonBenet. She really did love JonBenet. She honestly really did love JonBenet. I believe Patsy would never hurt JonBenet. She loved JonBenet so much. She had so much love for her, and she had a lot of time invested in JonBenet. She loved JonBenet a lot. Hi, how are you? You totally feel that the father feel like the father knows more than he ever let on. I don't think the mother had exactly. I don't think the mother had anything to do with it, but I do think the father knows something maybe that he doesn't think is information. I think the father might know something that he doesn't think is information regarding the case because he's a manipulator, right? So he manipulates people, but he doesn't pay attention to his surroundings. So he definitely, if he didn't take part or know of, he has some kind of information related to the case that he doesn't think is important. That's what I feel from this so far. Patsy loved that little girl. She loved that little girl. I'm so sorry, Sassy. That is the Ace of Cups. Her doing what she was doing with JonBenet. Her doing what she was doing with JonBenet brought her joy and happiness because remember, she's neglected. He has completely neglected her because she only needs him for financial situations, right? She only needs him for finances. So she's actually being neglected by him, by all of her needs. So by living out with JonBenet, that made her happy. That made her happy. She was so happy with doing that. So I definitely don't feel that the mom was involved. And then we got the King of Wands reversed, or the Queen of Wands reversed. I'm sorry. Apparently I can't read right tonight. The Queen of Wands. So with her, we've already had the Queen of Cups with her. We've had the Empress reversed, and now we have the Queen of Wands reversed. This is what we call the drama queen card. So Patsy was a drama queen, a huge drama queen, right? And it showed. It's very interesting that this reading for some reason has come to be about, it seems like, the mom's role in JonBenet's life, right? For some reason, it seems like this reading is about Patsy's role in her life. And for some reason, because somebody was here earlier, I felt it. They're wanting people to know about Patsy's role and about how how she was a very loving mom. Being a part of JonBenet's life and being part of her in pageants is what made her happy. Even though she was living vicariously through JonBenet, it's really what made her happy in the end. That's really what made her happy in the end. And then when they couldn't find who did it, right? When they couldn't find who did it, they decided to move on, right? They decided to move on with things. And it's very sad that they had to move on. Very sad that they had to move on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the Dark Mirror cards, right? Dark Mirror has a lot to do with shadow work. Okay, so we've got the downcast pride. Somebody took a shot to the ego, right? Somebody took a shot to the ego and alone in the world. Someone took a shot to their ego and feeling alone in the world, right? If she's living vicariously through JonBenet and she was only using her, and she only had her husband for financial gain, and he was neglecting all of her needs, of course she's going to feel alone in the world, right? This has completely turned into a Patsy Ramsey reading. Turned into a Patsy Ramsey reading. Awakening, and then I have truth. I think this is for after JonBenet, right? Do you remember how things were between the two of them after JonBenet was murdered? It seemed like they were closer, they loved one another more, so it was more of an awakening for them. What happened with JonBenet kind of helped them in return. It kind of helped them save what little relationship and love they had for each other yet, what they had for each other left. So it was kind of an awakening for them, what happened. And it forced them to open up themselves to a lot of truth. So I'm going to guess by all these cards that they did open communication lines and tell each other the truth about how they were with each other. So the parents definitely have some kind of reconciliation is what I'm going with this. But the truth can mean anything, right? Let's try. Okay, 2 cards already popped out. So, all right, this is what we've been waiting for. So what happened? It's saying natural death, false accusations, an innocent has died. True, an innocent has died. And there have been false accusations. They're saying inexperienced and justice not served. Justice has not been served. This card is right. This card is absolutely right so far. It's not a natural death, but false accusations, an innocent, and justice not served is all correct from this card. So far, that's good. Okay, this one has why. Look at the why. Anger, depression, greed, and excitement. How many of you feel that all of these whys could possibly be the reason? Right, Copper Horse? Right? That's what I'm saying, right? So far, I got the chills right now. Somebody's here. Right? Okay, so a 1 to 6 months relates to the past and future. I'm not exactly sure what this means. I'm guessing what I'm going to say here for this card is for the when is I'm going to say they had between 1 to 6 months from the time the case happened to fully solve the case. That's what I'm going to guess this time frame is about, right? Because that's what makes the most sense. 1 to 6 months relates to the past and future. So I'm going to go on a limb out here and say that they had a 1 to 6 month time period to solve and get information on this case from the time of her passing, and that just did not happen, right? Because now it's still completely unsolved. Okay, it's still not completely unsolved. So I'm gonna guess that's their time frame. They had a time frame, and that was their time frame before I lost all hope. Wow, these cards are working so far. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about these cards? I think they're working great so far. Okay, 2 cards actually popped out. So I'm going to start with this one. The Who Did It. The hedonistic killer comfort, right? Let's see what this says. Will avoid torture, usually female. Hang on, let me see what this right here actually says. Kills for the sake of money and wealth, avoids close contact to the victim, often uses poison, won't take pleasure in the kill, and killing is a means to an end. What do you guys think about that? About the killing being a means to an end? What do you guys think? Which one of those do you guys think? Or that's true, Mama Bear. That could be as well. That could be as well. You are correct. And then we also got, another, 2 Who Did It's. This is very questionable, right? We've got 2 Who Did It's. So the power control killer. What if it was a combination of both in one person, right? What if this is a combination of both? Yeah, right? So this one is the power control killer. So let's read. I'm going to read what this is, okay? I'm going to read what this is. Main motivation is to dominate and control their victim, right? Because she was restrained, right? She was restrained. They enjoy the process of murder, which involves stalking, capturing, and torturing their prey. So the place had to have been cased out, right? Which means that she could have been stalked, right? Because they had to know the layout of the house. So that couldn't be right. They are sexually aroused by the whole process of murder. The final stage, death, being their climax. Kills the victims slowly to their own pleasure. Being in control of how and when the victim dies is empowering for them. Usually charming, charismatic, and intelligent. So that's kind of a description, right? Because wasn't he charming and charismatic and intelligent? So possibility, this is alleged for entertainment purposes only. What if the killer is very charming, charismatic, and very intelligent, right? What if this is one of the descriptions of them? You think the dad and brother did it because they didn't like she was getting... I mean, that could be, but they were exonerated, Jamie. They were exonerated through DNA, remember? So rape is not motivated by lust like the hedonistic killer, but instead motivated by the act of dominating their victims. Now that sounds right? Dominating their victims. They do not lose interest of their victims after death and usually will have sex with the corpse in order to perpetuate more control and domination. Sorry about that, y'all. Trigger warning. Didn't really know that was going to be the sentence, so I pardon that. Will keep souvenirs and trophies from the victim, and sometimes will give them to a loved one as a present. What if this is another, this is what I'm saying, what if this is another, like, what if something that the dad knows but doesn't think that he knows? Will keep souvenirs and trophies from the victim, and sometimes will give them to a loved one as a present. Just wow. Just wow. There were a couple guys that have always been suspected. One of them killed himself shortly. See, I didn't know that, Tonic Cat. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Let's do it. Let's do another one. Let's see what else we get. Let's see what else we get since they're feeling feisty. Okay, what happened It's also saying, so we got 2 what happened, right? We're getting our second what happened. It was planned and premeditated. They had transportation, but the deaths were not transportation. The deaths were not transportation, car, boat, plane, bus, etc. But planned and premeditated for sure, right? Because it just wasn't on a whim, because they had to know the layout of the house, right? And plus, with it being on Christmas, it was definitely premeditated. Definitely premeditated. Okay, these cards are just popping out. Another where. So field, forest, bushland, backyard, parks, and nature. Maybe they need to look at the backyard, right? Backyard could be something to look into for them. Another who did it, male under 40 years old. What do you guys think? I think this is perfect. Male under 40 years old. I personally feel that that's it. One of the guys spoke about his future windfall in the amount of what was written in the note. Oh, see, I need to read that note. I need to read that note. Do you believe it's an under 40? Okay. And then another who did it, kidnapper type 2. So we're looking at another persona, right? Because it's kind of giving you an insight as to the different personas the killer can have. So you got who did it, the kidnapper type 2. That is abnormal sexual impulses that are obsessive in nature. So once again, this is the second card about the sexual impulses in nature. So feel aroused by seeing somebody in pain. Perversion is there in most cases. Sexually deviant thought such as humiliation, suffering, torture, pain, abuse, and power. Manipulate and brainwash victims. Make sure victims have no connection with the outside world. Abnormal sexual obsessions. So this could be a description into another part of the persona of the killer. Okay, I think we're done with that because I don't want to draw too many cards and have it interfere with anything. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Give me your feedback. You're numb. Let me cleanse and protect. I rebuke you. I rebuke you. You have no right or permissions to attach to anybody in this chat or myself. You are rebuked by the blood of Christ. You are rebuked by the blood of Christ. I think it seemed pretty accurate myself. Remember, the Boulder police brushed off pedophile's confession in JonBenet in 2019. Police have dismissed a convicted pedophile's confession to the murder of JonBenet Ramsey. I thought I remember hearing something like that. You still see it as close to them? Yeah, I still think it was somebody close. I absolutely think it was somebody close. So it's saying that the person is under 40 years old. So under 40 at the time. Yep, under 40 at the time. I think it was a pretty good read, and I'm kind of digging. Are you guys digging the True Crime Oracle deck? Are you guys digging it? I'm kind of digging it. See, and that's the thing with tarot is people need to realize with tarot, you're never going to get a definite answer as to a who, because right, tarot is not definite. Tarot is only, it's based off of possibilities, right? You are very welcome. So that's why it's always for allegedly for entertainment purposes only, because tarot can be accurate, but it's based off, of people's actions, right? So anything can change at any given time. I know, isn't it cool, Ginger? Isn't it cool? I will put the link for this deck. I think I forgot to put it in my other one, but I will definitely put the link for this after the live. You're so welcome. And this actually, for some reason, gave us more of an insight into Patsy. And I'm not sure if it's because we have a connection with the same name, but it definitely let me know Patsy's side of things. And I definitely feel a lot more empathy for Patsy in this situation than I felt before, because I didn't know everything before. And now that I have heightened senses and I'm sensitive now, since I have my gifts now, I definitely do have a different perspective onto how Patsy was with things. And yeah, somebody's still here now because I can feel them. I definitely feel more for Patsy. I definitely feel more for her. Definitely opened up my eyes to Patsy more, for sure. Absolutely. And if you notice, like, they didn't have any financial hard times. There was no financial hard times. Yeah, green eyes. Mm-hmm. No, I have not done the death of Elvis, but I will do another poll because this is going to be a weekly thing. Every Thursday we'll do tarot and true crime. So I will put a poll up. You guys can give me ideas on the poll post. And each week I'll change up who's in the poll so we can get a new topic every week. But I hope you guys enjoyed it tonight, because I had a very good time tonight. I enjoyed every bit of this reading. And I am definitely feeling some type of way now that I've done this reading. Definitely feeling some type of way, for sure. What did I do with these cards? There they are. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You guys really make it so much better when you're here. Like, you guys make the atmosphere that much more better for me. Like, you guys make it happy and enjoyable, and this is a judgment-free zone. So I really love it when you guys are here, and how everybody is. You feel like JonBenet comes in a lot to give people, like a protective stance. Exactly like a protective stance. Yes, and I still have the chills. She's definitely, like, somebody's definitely here, and I'm saying she because it's a she. I feel a she presence for sure. Yes, you enjoyed, even though I cut. Oh, you're very welcome, Ginger. Definitely. I'll put the link for this deck. I got it off of Etsy. You will not find this on Amazon, so I will link it on Etsy for you guys if you guys are interested in getting it. I know, I'm so excited now. So, okay. So I will be putting up a new poll. So in here, put down some recommendations right here in the chat right now, and I will write them down and I will put them in the poll. So we've had what? We got somebody recommending Elvis, right? We got Elvis Presley. Who else we got? Who else do you guys want a reading for? Absolutely, Mama Bear. I missing persons too. I want to get into missing persons as well. So even missing person cases, please, please, please. Absolutely. Definitely, Mama Bear. I don't want to forget the little ones as well. Okay, we've got Jack the Ripper. We need two more. Make two more suggestions, guys. Yeah, because Jack the Ripper, right? We never found out who Jack the Ripper was. He is the one that got away of all time, right? He's like freaking Houdini. Houdini of the murders, right? The serial killers. Yeah, same. I like that too, Aaron. That's a really good feeling, right? Judgment-free zone. The Zodiac Killer. Okay, give me one more, y'all. Daniel. Okay, Daniel, that is now. Daniel is missing. Hang on. Daniel, that is missing. Now they're dead. Okay. Daniel. Arizona desert. Okay. Okay, and I will add Princess Di. Little Miss Nobody. Oh yeah, because they just found out who she is. And Kurt Cobain. I will add those three, Princess Di, Kurt Cobain, Little Miss Nobody, to that following week. Definitely add it to the following week, because for next week I will put on the poll Elvis Presley, Jack the Ripper, Zodiac Killer, and Daniel from the Arizona desert. Okay, I'll put that poll up. So thank you guys for coming and making this such a fun and enjoyable reading. Like, it really was very informative, and I'm glad you guys were here to witness the first Tarot and True Crime, and I look forward to many, many more weekly readings. I am so glad you guys were here, and I'm glad you guys had a great time. And I'm part of the Grizzly team who has been part of the Daniel list. Okay, gotcha. Yep, and I'll put Robert Kennedy on there for that last one for the following week. Okay, all right, so we already got our 2 weeks. We already got our 2 weeks polls. Okay, we already got our 2 weeks polls. You are so welcome. Thank you guys. You guys made this night amazing. So thank you for your support. And as always, I love you guys, and your love and support makes this channel what it is. And you guys are greatly appreciated. And I love you all so much. And you guys have a great rest of your night. And I look forward to many, many more of these. So keep these ideas coming. They don't have to be national cases, okay? They don't have to be national cases. They can be ones that are not national, be like missing persons, and even ones that we don't know about of people, that have been murdered. Please, please, please keep them coming. So I love you guys. Like I said, I would not be here without your support. So thank you very much. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. You guys have a great night.